What's going on, everybody? CFC DP here with you. Unbelievable. I am at work right now, so that's why the backdrop is a little bit different. But Thomas Tuchel sacked this morning. Graham Potter is supposedly the number one target, and deal is being talked about being done. Instant reaction. Obviously, a huge thank you to Tuchel for his time with Chelsea. He definitely was a leader that we needed after Lampard got sacked. Obviously, he led us to a few trophies: Champions League, Club World Cup, Super Cup. But I think that it was the right time to do this. If you've watched any of my videos in the past, you have noticed that I had talked about Boehly buying for the future, moving the Chelsea's Champions League and Premier League aspirations, their windows, to align a little bit more with some new signings. And I think that Boehly, why it happened, right? So Boehly needed Tuchel to see him through the transfer window. It's been reported by Liam Toomey and David Ornstein that Chelsea have needed somebody to walk them through that, because once they got rid of Buck, Marina, a number of other peoples, they needed somebody to work through the transfer window. So you see a lot of their transfer targets outside of Aubameyang were club signings. They weren't tied to any particular manager, if you will. That there were signings that any club manager would have done and would like to have at their club. So that was a little bit of reasoning behind why it happened now rather than right when they bought the club or the season after. But it's tough. Obviously, a lot of people are upset. Tuchel is definitely a fan favorite. He is a type of manager that you can really get behind. But if you don't realize that the football has become very stale and players are having issues with the manager, and he has a lot of things on his plate as well in his personal life, you can start to understand why they decided to make this move. If you look at any Forbes 500 company and you understand when they get taken over, everybody leaves. They clean house. And Boehly is doing that, but he needed a crutch to get him to this point. And if they weren't certain that they had a replacement, it looks like it's Graham Potter, they would not have done this. But Potter, obviously, he's in fourth place right now with Brighton. They've looked really good this year and in years past. He's a growing name amongst the football world. We have to understand that Boehly saw this as a target and he went out and got it. Now, this is complete speculation, but I'm trying to put things together. And where does Boehly say, I want to get Graham Potter, other than the fact that he, probably hears from different people? I have a feeling that Michael Edwards, when discussions were happening about him becoming the director of football and needing time off, that he had mentioned Graham Potter. Now, Boehly wants a director of football because he doesn't need to be as hands-on with this as he has been. So, if Boehly can get Edwards in, everything should be okay in terms of righting the ship at Chelsea. So, we see that Boehly is going to bring in Potter, potentially a Michael Edwards guy. Reportedly, Edwards was not a fan of Thomas Tuchel. Now you get the ball rolling, and in January, Edwards can step in and be your director of football, and you can start making the changes that you see fit under Graham Potter. So that is just a speculation, but I do think that Michael Edwards has a bigger role to play in this than people are expecting right now. So yeah, it's obviously a very sad day for Tuchel and Chelsea, because he is a legend of some sorts with this club, with bringing in a title. But if the football is stale, if the players aren't responding to you, things need to change. And I respect Boehly for doing it, because it is such a tough decision to make when you are a new ownership group and the fans are not completely sure on you yet. If they do secure Potter's name, which I probably would expect in the next 24 hours that to happen, the work can begin. Now, if I'm Graham Potter, I definitely need to have long-term assurances that I am the guy that's leading this ship. So I would expect in the first, second, and third years of this contract to have extremely expensive buyout options, just in case things go wrong. But I think Boehly will be prepared to pay that, because if this is his guy, and he said from the beginning he wants to be like Liverpool, he wants to be like Man City, that's what's going to happen. Liverpool had hired and fired like 3 different managers before they got to Klopp, when Fenway Sports Group started with them. Manchester City fired someone within 12 months after they took over Manchester City. So just because Tuchel had led us to a Champions League, and that was fantastic, style of play, sustainability of play, and recruitments are important. So I'll just say this, and I'll leave it at that. People need to see this out, because you have a whole different mindset than Todd Boehly does, and how any of these hierarchies at football clubs do. You may have opinions, and you're well voiced of opinions. I have opinions. That's why you're listening and watching this video. But if you don't have the wherewithal to understand that this is a lot of high level stuff that's happening with people with a lot of data, a lot of research, a lot of day-to-day interactions with the managers, with the players, you're mistaken, because you need to take their word a little bit stronger than your own assumptions, which assumptions are good to have. You can obviously watch the game. The fans are an important part of the game. But let's not be so sure that this is the wrong decision. Let's not be so sure that it's the right decision. That's just my opinion. That could be your opinion. But I think it was time. I think it got a little stale, and I haven't truly enjoyed watching a Chelsea performance in very long. So I hope Potter can bring that, and we'll just see how it goes. Obviously, a lot of parts are moving. Probably by the time the video's out, Potter might already be announced as a Chelsea manager, but it is a sad and exciting. And I said this example before, and it kind of helped people. It's, you love your girlfriend at the time, but you might not like her. So you might not see the future in her. You value her, you love her, and it might be hard to break up, but it's for the best in the long run. So that could be this situation. Now, you probably didn't buy your girlfriend a $300 million engagement ring beforehand, but yeah. So, okay, well, I will come back with some later news tonight. If there is any, I'll do another video, not at work, but this is just a quick reaction video to sort of the last 12 hours since we heard the news. So be sure to like, subscribe, comment to the video as always. Look at my Twitter at CFCDP1 for my other thoughts. So we'll talk to you then.